Heyo, today I'm covering the power of the annoying dog. Yeah, I'm not memeing this time. I'm positively aware that I'm known for stupid things, but I think this might just be the stupidest thing I've done so far. At least it's enjoyable, maybe, I don't know. And without further ado, let's get into it. To start off with, we have this. By barking with text-to-speech on, the dog accidentally programmed a whole game. Basically meaning that he created the entire multiverse of Undertale. Not sure how you accidentally create an entire multiverse, but okay, I guess we're supposed to just roll with it. The game also hints that the annoying dog can patch the game and change it at any time. This being evidenced by the anagram of the fabric being, well, the fabric of the universe, and the dog being able to quote-unquote patch said fabric. On top of creating the multiverse, he would have created beings like Azrael, Kara, and Frisk, all three having multiversal power. Frisk is basically stated to be stopping Azrael from having full control of the timeline, and Azrael stated that if he had full control, he could just reset everything. And Kara basically just one-shot the Undertale multiverse with a single knife slash. The annoying dog basically views all three of these multiversal beings as fiction, and therefore would be above them. He also views the 4D Undertale multiverse as a fictional verse, so he would be an entire dimension above them and be fifth dimensional. For your own sense of scope, I'm gonna now try and make a guess as to the size of the Undertale multiverse. To start with, there are an estimated 322 monsters that inhabit the underground, which you can choose to spare or kill. We know each death of a main boss fight changes the timeline through Sans' phone calls and different events within the story, so it's safe to assume that other monsters' deaths would also impact the story at least a little bit, therefore creating another timeline, which basically means that you get a different universe as to whether you spare or kill a monster. 332 times 2 is 644. So we're done, right? The multiverse is 644 universes, which would actually be low multiversal and not multiversal at all. Well, no. It's been established that whenever a statistic goes up, that Kara is the feeling that you get behind it. And assuming that character changes are what defines a new timeline, that means that every single time a statistic goes up, it's a new timeline, meaning every single statistic, roughly, is another set of timelines. So after looking up the statistics for Undertale to the ones that Kara actually affects, I've found all this, which we can finally use to somewhat try and determine the Undertale universe's size. Spoilers is really large! So we're going to start with level of violence, which is 20. Which means that every single level is another set of timelines, which means we can times 644 by 20 to get the new number of timelines in the Undertale universe. Remember, these are still not every single timeline. The number totals out to 12,880 timelines, which is already multiversal. However, just because it's multiversal doesn't mean I'm gonna stop, because I hate myself and I love to torture myself by doing maths. Next up is HP, with the total number being 99. Now I know every single number here isn't accessible, but as much as I love torture, I'm not doing that to myself. So we'll go with it, because why not? So that gives us the 12,880 timelines we already have, and then multiplies that by 99. The result comes out to over 1.25 million. This isn't even half the amount of timelines in the Undertale multiverse, and we're already going crazy. And then on top of all of that, we have attack and defense. Attack coming out to 48 and defense coming out to 14. I'm going to do this both at once because I really can't be bothered to do them separately, because this video is going to be long enough. This total is over 850 million, so we're definitely not slowing down by any means. And once more, this isn't even half the size of the Undertale multiverse. And then we have EXP, which is by far the biggest one and is definitely going to affect the final total. There are 99,999 different possibilities within the Undertale verse for EXP, which is over 85 trillion. I double checked, and yeah, this number checks out. And again, this isn't even half of the size of the Undertale universe. And I know that you don't believe me. To finish things off, we have gold. And because I couldn't get a solid number for how much gold you can actually get, I took an average from 50 from the amount of gold you can actually get from a monster. This guess is also an extremely conservative number. Timesing this by the 322 monsters in the underground, I got a result of 16,100 gold that you can actually get, which when we times this by the already massive number of 85 trillion, well, it's no surprise that we get a completely absurd number. And the answer goes to 1.37 quintillion. And with that, we're finally done with the statistics. And the accurate numbers too, because I'm just not being able to write them all down without constantly going off my editor and onto the calculator. Then you get the two possibilities from whether you take the snowman piece or not, and then the possibility that you get the soulless pacifist route after completing the genocide route, with the number totaling out to 2.74 quintillion. And yeah, you'd think we're done here. But no, because there's more game statistics that affect how you play the game, including things like the least fitting named fun value. However, I'm not covering those because A, I don't know enough about them, and B, I have already told myself no more maths for today. So why am I telling you this? Well, it's so that you can understand the sheer scope of the annoying dog's power. He is completely above characters like Kara, who one-shot all of those timelines and views them all as mere fiction. So in short, how powerful is the annoying dog? Well, he's absolutely, definitely, at least multiversal. Potentially 5D, however that could also just be me pushing it a little bit. And as for speed, he also has immeasurable speed scaling through being above Frisk and Sans and characters like that, and he could potentially be omnipresent as Kara embodies every single statistic in the game, or at least the 6 statistics mentioned. It's unknown whether they actually embody the other statistics. But even then, each monster and human and ghost and things like that all have their own defense and attack, so Kara's still probably omnipresent. And the annoying dog should be above that in speed as well. We don't actually know for sure, but he should be. So was I surprised at all by this dog's power? Absolutely not. The annoying dog was always supposed to be a manifestation of Toby Fox, so it doesn't come as any surprise to me that he has this level of power. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.